Hi, I'm the Fight Pundit, and today we're going to be breaking down the Deontay Wilder-Lewis-Ortiz fight from the Barclays Center for the WBC heavyweight title fight this Saturday night, as well as the Sergey Kovalev-Igor Mikhalkin light heavyweight title bout from the theater in Madison Square Garden for the WBO light heavyweight title, also on Saturday night, and the Dimitri Bivol Sullivan-Barrera light heavyweight title bout. They're going to be fighting for the WBA light heavyweight title, also from the theater in Madison Square Garden. But first off, I would like to break down the Wilder-Ortiz fight. And this boxing scene article really caught my eye. This is the first time since 2003 that two of the top three heavyweights will be squaring off for a title on U.S. soil. Over a decade and a half. And if you've a longtime follower of boxing, you've known that pretty much for the entire history of the heavyweight division, it's been dominated pretty much by Americans, and most of the biggest fights in heavyweight history has been held in America. So we've certainly had a drought here in the United States related to big heavyweight fights. As for this fight, it's really intriguing. It's obviously Wilder's biggest test. Ortiz is the most skilled fighter Wilder has ever fought. He's getting long in the tooth, though, and I think that's showing in his training, the way he's preparing for this fight. If you've seen footage online of Luis Ortiz working with a track coach to work on his sprints and explosion, it seems to me that if you're doing exercises like that to prepare for a fight, you're looking to knock somebody out. He's not banking on his conditioning in this fight. He's going for a blitzkrieg kind of strategy against Wilder, who hasn't shown that he has the greatest chin. We've seen Wilder hurt and dropped in past fights. The last one I think he was hurt in was against Eric Molina, who doesn't have the fastest hands and isn't the most skilled guy in the world, but he still caught up to Wilder and hurt him. So it seems like, given Ortiz's age and the understanding of that, he may be going for a blitzkrieg type strategy, which is very interesting. I don't know if it'll end up working out for him, because if he doesn't get the knockout, what's he going to be left with? Rounds and rounds of punishment, perhaps. But it's by far the most intriguing fight on the docket for Saturday night, and I fully expect a Deontay Wilder victory. Ortiz was avoided just long enough to where he's aged out of being the best heavyweight in the world, which he was thought of being ever since Tyson Fury beat Vladimir Klitschko. But on to the next fight of Sergey Kovalev and Igor Mikhalkin. This article really has nothing to do with the commentary I'm about to give, but provides a background of what's happening here. Igor Mikhalkin presents no sort of challenge for Kovalev whatsoever. He has a high guard. He's not very skilled. He's just going to sort of come in behind the high guard, try to pick his shots, and attempt to counterpunch. If you've ever seen him fight, it's really no different than Shabransky in terms of skill. I expect a spectacular knockout for Kovalev. There's really not much more to talk about in this fight. He was made to order for Kovalev. Kovalev's just going to jab him and hit him with big right hands and knock him out in impressive fashion, setting up possibly Kovalev versus the winner of this next fight, Dimitri Bivol versus Sullivan-Barrera, which is a very interesting fight. Sullivan-Barrera is a very skilled fighter. Um, he he didn't, against Andre Ward, he was outmatched clearly. But in his fights after that, he's looked pretty good. Completely dominated Joe Smith, who was on a really good win streak. He crushed Shabransky easily. He's a very skilled Cuban fighter, formerly of the Abel Sanchez camp. Dimitri Bivol, he's never really faced anybody of note. He's looked like just another Eastern European machine. Just a pipeline that's been coming over from there to the United States. He looks, right in line with the rest of them. Big right hand, lots of power, good jab, good fundamentals. I expect Dimitri Bivol to win this fight. I think, given Barrera's age, he's getting up there into the late 30s. Bivol's just impressive way he's been just dealing with all the opponents. I mean, obviously, I'm just going off the eye test because Bivol hasn't fought anybody. I expect Bivol to win here, setting up a Kovalev-Bivol fight, which will be, highly anticipated by, all hardcore fans. It's a fight, frankly, that HBO badly needs because with Top Rank going over to ESPN, it's left their cupboard very bare. So I am the Fight Pundit. Please support, subscribe, give this video a like, please. And till the next time. Bye, guys.